Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, let me just hear my mic. Oh, that was loud. Let me hear my mic real quick. Oh, I just gotta press this. Oh, yeah, buddy. Test, test. Oh, we sound great. Oh, yeah. We're here, bud. We're here. Hopefully it's not too loud. We should be good. Let's put a limiter on that thing, or let's put a compressor so that if it gets too loud, it'll push it down. Yo. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's do a, sorry, y'all. I know I'm yelling in your ear. Yo. Let's push it up a little bit more. Yo. Oh gosh, that was peaking. Let's do like there. All right. Sorry. I'm doing live. I'm over here doing live edits. My goodness, I'm so professional. Y'all, welcome back to Making a Game in 10 Days Live with your boy. It's day 2. Let me make sure exclamation point game jam works here. It is day 2. I'm so blessed to have y'all. Yo, what's good, bro? What's going on? Is everything, how the stream look? Stream look good? How's your day going so far, bro? We're on day 2 of the game jam. We're gonna have a blast here tonight. So tonight, I'm gonna be going live. I think I'm gonna stay. We're gonna be on here. We're gonna be on here for a little bit. You feel me? Let's just enjoy ourselves, have a great time, bro. Oh my goodness. This is where we got. This is the progress we made yesterday. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got a character that can move. We got a character that can move up, down, left, right. He can jump. Mean jump. Got a mean jump to him. Mean vert. That's straight vert, bro. That's not, he ain't moving at all, bro. This is straight vert. You feel me? Then he got a mean little, you feel me? Not even like, you feel me? Stream good. It lagged for a sec, but we back. Oh gosh. Get you some break in, bro. It's 2 p.m. in the, get you some brunch. Good brunch. And I made this feature, so I got this little house. I know it's all pixelated. Don't worry about that. That's okay. We go in the house, right? Look at that, man. We in here, bruh. We in here. We in here, dude. The house, the roof, bruh. The roof drop, bro. It's a drop top. It's a drop top house, y'all. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? I don't think y'all are seeing what I'm seeing, bruh. It's a drop top. I dropped the top off that John, bro. We got all this done yesterday, bro. We did great. We made great progress. So yeah, man. What's on our agenda for today? Let's see. Let's get up Obsidian. All right. So that was day 1. This is what we got done yesterday. Day 2. What is this? 2 or 3? Oh, no, 3. Day 2. So what we doing? What's the move? So I got some stuff written down. I think we can do. Let's see. Is the playlist still going? It is. It's just taking a while to play the next song. Oh, what's this? This song is called Decimate. I don't like that song. Okay, so my goal for today is we do the interaction system. We're trying to make the core gameplay loop. So let's see here. Let's do this right here. We're gonna come here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do week 1. Goal. The goal is to have a core gameplay. I don't know about all that. Let's just get the interaction system. What we want, of course, we want movement, interaction system. If we can do an inventory, that'd be ridiculous. I don't even think that's possible to do in one day. So we're gonna do interaction system. What does the interaction system mean? Click, open, Like, just like I want to be able to like basically go to sleep. So go to sleep, click, or like mouse interaction with land, go to sleep on the press of like E, and then click interaction with, wait, what? Let's do plot. Go to sleep. That's all I'm gonna do right here for week 1. Just give the basic E interaction and mouse interaction. It's not gonna be that. It's honestly gonna be very much just make it. Let me turn this out just a tad bit. Like this song. Let me download this. Called Puppy Love. Let's see if we're live on YouTube. I forgot to press the. Oh no, we're live. I didn't have to press the go live button. We're chilling. All right, y'all. My mouse is acting mad nasty right now. Is this thing about to die? My mouse might be about to die, y'all. Oh no, that's not my mouse. That's the Wi-Fi. We definitely had a little lag. I think that might be my computer, y'all. 1 second. Let me check out my. Hold on. Let's turn this game off right quick, because I might be going wrong. Nope. It's my mouse, I think. How you rip your bacon, dude? Oh my goodness, bro. We got people out here just doing whatever. My strength. We got Samson in the building. Like, bro, what is up with you, bro? Hold on. Let me go grab a battery right quick. I'm going to replace my mouse with a battery, y'all. 1 second. I can press the brake button. I'm too late. 3 minutes. Wait, what? YouTube is not receiving enough. Oh my gosh. What are you talking about, YouTube? YouTube is. It's okay. We got some connection issues. Yes, we're doing our best, bro. We're doing our best. Oh, this is terrible. All right, 1 second, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Oh, this is on lagging. So I've been working on a first-person survival horror game for the last 6 months, and I documented everything that I've done. My name is Theodore, this is Born Again Games, and this is everything that has happened from the very first day I opened Godot back in October of 2025 until now, I guess March 2026. So let's get into it. So the very first thing I built was a player controller and a sanity controller. Both of those came from following a tutorial series by Crooked Smile Studios, which is a fantastic series, and it gave me a really solid foundation to start building on top of. The sanity controller added visual distortion as the player's sanity drained, which felt right for the kind of game I was trying to make. I then started working on what would eventually become the prayer system, although at the time I was calling it the shout controller. See, I had the idea that the player would shout at the demon-possessed person chasing after you. The player would, in a split-second decision, type, "I rebuke you," or "flee from me," and this would consider the possessed person rebuked. How I got to that point was what I was trying to figure out. Mind you, at the time, I had really no idea how to make a game. I had only about a year, maybe a little bit less, of experience in Godot. To get started, I was just following God's guidance step by step. The idea at this point was open dialogue. The player could type out a real sentence and the game would respond to it. And I was thinking about doing a good prayer, a bad prayer, and neutral prayer system based on what the player actually typed. But I had to scrap that pretty quickly because the reality was that players would just spend all their time typing curse words at God to see what would happen instead of actually playing the game. And that's just human nature. So that went out the window pretty fast. But knowing what I didn't want was still progress. And everything else in this phase was really just about laying this groundwork. Doors, chests, items, and a basic sandbox environment to mess around with. I was just building the foundation and hoping it would hold up over time. In November started Sprint 1. This is where things started to actually feel like a real game was being made, because this is when I added the maze sandbox and dropped in an enemy for the first time. The AI, though simple, came from an old course I followed that I modified to fit what I needed for this game. It really didn't do much but idle, walk, and when the player got close enough, started to chase. It had 0 intelligence. The first test I ran, the AI could detect the player through the walls, which was very much not intentional. In the second test, the player's sanity was being drained through the walls, which is also not intentional. In the third test, the enemy would endlessly get stuck on walls, and you get the point. Nothing was going to plan. First, to fix the AI seeing me through the walls, I realized the issue was actually pretty similar to the reason the player's sanity controller was draining sanity. The collision of the walls were not being accounted for by either the enemy's AI or the player's sanity controller, so what was a simple solution? If you answered raycast, you would be correct. I added a raycast and a check to the enemy AI that would return a boolean of whether the enemy was in sight of the player, taking collision into account. Oh no, it sees me. 2 birds killed with 1 raycast. The last test, until I could begin actually testing the enemy in the maze, was to fix the player's AI getting stuck on the walls. Why was this happening? When I was working on this project, I was actually also working as a developer with CGDC, Gaming Community, specifically CGDC Community Level 5. This is a game developed yearly by a community of Christian game developers. And guess what I was working on that exact same time? The sheep's AI in the game. Some may call it coincidence, I call it God. While working on this project, I learned what's good. So I know y'all seen the trailer. I'm looking at the frames now. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it's looking a little sketchy. It's looking sketchy. Okay, we're looking good now, but we were looking very sketch, but my mouse is still not behaving correctly. It's so crazy because I was literally just looking at a mice, like a replacement mice. Just because my mouse is like really small. Like this is actually my fiance's mouse from a minute ago. And so like this is perfect for her hands because she's like smaller hands, but my hands are much bigger. And so this one, it's just far too small. Bro, if Disney tries to send me to the shadow dimension, bro, honestly, that'd be fine, bro, because that's probably where Walt's at, bro. Let me stop. That's crazy. But no lie, I don't even know what would I change it to? Do you have any suggestions? I have no idea what I would even change it to, bro. Well, no, we're not lagging no more. We're chilling. Okay. I don't even know what I would change it to. Probably some development thing. Like just make it a development related, or like what games do I like? I don't know, bro. You know what? I got you. I got some ideas. You know what I need to do, bro? I need to I'm already planning on making some logos for like my channels, because right now it's just a picture of me and my cat like hanging out. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna, while I'm making those logos, I'll probably get some ideas. I kind of already have some, but the ones in my mind right now are kind of whack. So let's say interaction system. So first we got to do this step by step, bro. Literally, get mouse. Oh man, this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting because what we want to happen is, okay, create interaction system on player, right? Right. Add bed to level. Right. 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 Give a bed. Create interaction component. Give interaction component to bed. Right. 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 Connect area. Interaction area with bed. Right. Right. And then connect interaction component signal to interaction system players. Why do I capitalize all the first? I don't like the way that looks. Let's do that. We'll actually, because we'll do these because these are called something. So I'll do that to players interaction system. There it is. But these grapes are not that good. But these are actually the grapes I'm going to be putting in the game. So these are actually, it's a good reference. If anything, let me take a picture of these. These are a good reference. Because I want the person, they're going to have like a vineyard or whatever. So take a picture of that. W photography. These grapes are not that great. They're not very sweet. Maybe it's because they've been sitting out for over an hour. So let's see. But they're still blessed. Still blessed to have them. They're delicious. They're delicious enough to be eaten. So let's see. Let's get our music back on, y'all. Forgive me. I'm a little rusty because the internet was messing up and my mouse is still not working how I need it to. Turn it off and turn it back on. I always fix everything else, right? Actually, that might have fixed it. Got some tea, some Tazo. What do you call that? Which is some Tazo. That's got somehow I just got an alert even though I have do not disturb on. So it must have been important. It was. Let's see. 1 second. 1 minute. We back. 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 Hit my shoulder, 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 shoulder. Hit my shoulder, 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 shoulder. Hit my shoulder, shoulder. Look, if y'all think I just gotta. This is how I am all the time. I'm literally like this. No cameras, no nothing. This is how I act when I'm just developing by myself in my own little in the cut. You feel me? So this is what you be doing. This is just literally what I be doing at work. This is it, dude. This is who I am. I be jamming out to music and getting stuff done, bro. That's it. What's good, light? Yeah. All right, let's see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's see what we do here. Thanks for pulling up on me. Appreciate you. You move quick. Bro, if you don't, you feel me? What I'm doing, I'm taking that bacon, I'm taking them eggs, I'm taking a fork to them. You feel me? Hey, you don't need no bread. You got any tortillas? You can make a breakfast burrito. That's my favorite. Let's see. So after I connect it, I should be good to just start going ham, bro. But I also have to make another add mouse functionality to players interact to. I'm gonna stop talking to y'all here. You do have bread. There you go. Tostadas. Well, you could do tostadas, bro. But there you go. You got your bread, bro. Hey, you feel me? Hey, man, that's a blessing. Bless up. Okay, let's start. All right, first let's get the bed in the game. So let's go ahead and turn the roof off for a minute. Yo, my mouse is acting crazy, bro. They don't want to see me winning, bro. Let's get a bed in here. Can I make this bigger? How do I make this bigger? Full screen it. And bring this down. Make it let me. Let's start looking at it. Full screen works. No, it ain't, because I got to get my bed. All right, assets. Let's come to furniture kit. Isometric. Oh, that's kind of cool, y'all. That's really cool. Models. GLB or GLTF. We need beds. Let's do GLTF. Put these in here. Side. What does that look like? Oh, these are just pictures. That's pretty cool, but Kenny is the man, dude. Kenny is literally the man. Let's put those in here. I love me some Kenny, yo. Furniture. Let's see what we got here. We got a bunk bed. That's not what we want. Low key, that'd be cute because you're sleeping with your. I guess you'd be like, I don't know. Let's give our son his own bed. No, we don't need no bed. All right, these beds look a little bit too modern, to be honest. I didn't think they would look this modern, but these are just placeholder textures. And what the world? What did I just do? Let's put that in the game. You need to be. No, just put it in house. Don't put it in. Put that there. There it is. Close that. Close that. Close that. There it is. Oh, we got the bed. Let's make this bigger. Make it about a 3x. So right there. There's the bed. I was gonna put one bed here and I was gonna do another bed for like your son or whatever. I want there to also be like a kid. Let's put the kid. Would you be able to really see it if I put it like over here? Hold on. If I threw it over there, I don't know if you would. Let's see if you can see it. I guess you could if your kid's like right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Just come right here. Honestly, I might end up having to actually get rid of the front wall too, instead of just the roof. But you come over here to your little bed. Mink. Ain't got no collision. Let's give it some collision. Honestly, just give it. Wait. Let's give this change this into a static body. There it is. Oh, there's actually one right there. The mesh, it's not a static body. Change the static body. Let's get shit in a box. I like this song. Download that. Don't worry about me. Y'all, I'm over here downloading lo-fi songs and putting the playlist. Oh, the YouTube library is actually not that bad, y'all. With music, I thought it was gonna be kind of trash, but it's actually pretty good. They got some tracks. So you can jump on the bed. My mouse is lagging and I don't like it. Biggest one. Should work. Nope. One. Let's just do one more. I just want to make it so that they can't come out this way. So, and now let's give one more. This is gonna be for the headboard. There it is. Let's try it out. We'll have to do the same thing for the other one, but okay. Well, the headboard has collision. Well, I just realized the rest of the house I never gave it collision. Oh, I see what I did wrong. 1 second. I duplicated it. Make this unique. There it is. YouTube, you still trying to play music? There it is. Now we got collision. All right, let's give the house collision. Like that makes some sense. So let's go there. Let's delete this bed. Another one. Like so. Let's turn it around. So beautiful. Just move it a little bit inwards because of the collision. Also, that'll work because you want to be able to see it in a little bit more. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. Still can see it a little bit. Let's try it out. So you can see the. So you just come in, you see your kid like right here, next to the bed. I think give him like a little chair next to the bed or whatever. There it is. It looks good. 2 beds. Now let's make them interactable. It's just gonna be this one though. Like that's the thing about this game. It's gonna be pretty cool. I don't have to make like a super intricate system. I just need to make it work with some things. Just because it's like, dude, I'm not trying to make a system that's gonna work with everything. Why is the music stopped? Waited until I went to it to turn it back on. Like that's crazy. Give this a node. I'm gonna call this the interaction system. No, I haven't even, hold on. Forget that right quick. Let's finish the collision, then we're gonna do our first commit to get because we haven't done it yet, not once. All right, let's get another collision going. Let's do another one. Let's see. Should work. Let me see something actually. Let's delete this for a second. What if I do that, 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 that? Now where to? I have to make them unique, local to be able to see the actual node. Unfortunate. It's really just these I wanna do all the detail. All the details come here. And make them local. That way I can come here and do like a little bit of a collision shape. So single convex, what does that look like? Looks pretty simple. Yeah, it works. It looks very nice. That's what we'll do again. Here, boom, collision shape, single convex. Next. There. There it is. And now I could also probably, but the rest of these are just like, I can honestly, it wouldn't take nothing but for me to do this. Create a collision shape, single convex. I wouldn't even probably need that. Try bounding box. I don't see it. Oh, yes, I do. It's, yeah, that seems like the best one for these flat walls. This music does not want to keep playing for some reason. Yep, that looks good to me. Make it a simple barrier. It'd be quicker to do that than to. That's the last one. No, there's a couple more things. two need one. Maybe I did this one. This goes back to the... Let's try it out. We have one more. This one doesn't have one. There it is. This should be it. These work. These work. These work. I can't fly through the wall. I can't go through the wall. Perfect. All right, it works perfectly. Just how I needed it to. Perfect. So let's go ahead and push that up. Is there already a get? Oh. There's not a get, so let's give it a get. Should be farming sim. Sim. Getting more to go. You just want to see what I'm doing. Breakfast update. I'm the greatest to ever do it. Oh, I just realized I never started recording. Let's go ahead and do that. Is it delicious? Is that what that means? Let's see. No, no license. We're fine like this. I could do MIT, but it really doesn't matter. Scrumptious. Oh my goodness. Then you're winning. You're winning, my boy. Oh my goodness. What type of bread did you end up finding? Is my question. Yeah. Theo recording. Theo, I'm sorry. I forgot to start recording until like now. So you're gonna have to like get some of it from the stream and then kind of catch up. Sorry about that, bro. You'll be alright though. Hey. Tough luck. I think init commit already went through. Yep. So we can go ahead and publish this. Bam. Bam. Oh, bam. So. Okay. So you ended up finding it. Okay. Love some good honey wheat. I love some good honey wheat. Yeah, we're cooking up now, bro. We're cooking up now, bro. Got my bed here. All right, let's begin the interaction system. So let's close all this out. Player, I'm gonna come here. All right, why is the music deciding it doesn't want to autoplay no more? What's going on with that? Why are they autoplaying? I don't like that. Guess we keep it up or whatever. All right. Interaction system. Could call it like an interaction controller or whatever. I ain't doing all that. Care. This is gonna control everything. So, all right. So this is what I need to do. Straight up is like this. Let's go to process. If so, okay. So this is let's just make it for now. We're going to give it a name. Boom. Now let's go to the bed. before we go to the bed, let's go ahead and there. I'll put this in the world. It doesn't matter. I'll give it. I gotta make an objects folder, so I'll do it like objects. Come here and I'll do a new interaction. No, let's just throw it in there. We'll figure this out later. Organization is not my top priority. No, this is here. I did it again. Create a new script. Call this on interaction component. Okay. So the interaction component is going to be attached to the bed. We're gonna first make a enum interaction type. Do like this. We're gonna do. It's gonna be bed. It's gonna be. Do we want chest? I feel like having a chest would make sense. But that means I have to do with inventory. I have to do with inventory anyway. There ain't nothing I can do about that. Chest, and then I have to do a call it like a selling. Go do default. Plot, and then I'm gonna do selling station. What do I call that? Like a shipping box. Called a shipping box. That's similar to like the thing in Stardew Valley. So let's go ahead and actually just kind of say what each one is, because so plot of land, ship out items, store items, sleep. All right, very simple what they do, right? So how do we, so let's start with the bed. Bunk ready. Match. Let's give a player a variable. No, we're just gonna do match. Let me do this here. Var interaction type interaction type equals interaction type dot default is going to be, I don't know, bed. We're going to do null so that I know, like, if it's null, I know it's not working right. Error. So match interaction type. If it's interaction type dot null, then I want you to print error. That's it. So this is going to be like getting the interactions ready. So getting the interactions ready. Is there anything where the bed needs? I don't think. Is there any bed variable? What are bed variables I'll need? So chest is gonna need like opened. So I'm gonna do like something like this. Chest variables. Bar opened. It's gonna be a boolean of false. We're not gonna go too crazy here, but we just gotta see like what we're doing here. Let's do the bed. So is there anything for the bed that I need to? Honestly, not anything I can think of. I just have to really just get that. So I'm gonna have an interact. So if it's not null, if it's not interaction type dot null, then I want it to do want you to then go and find its, I'm going to create a label, interaction label dot visible equals false. I can honestly just sit here and find it. Var interaction label equals get node. So we're going to go to the parent. I could do get parent. I'm going to do instead object ref dot get node. Create an object ref. Object ref is going to be exported. It's going to be a node of type node. A var. It's going to be object ref dot get node. Refine node. Let's see. What does it say? He's nowhere to get node. Has node. We're going to get node. We're going to do a label 3D. That type thing, maybe. Do something like that. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and I could probably slap this on a. The bed now. Let's see, bed single, 3D. I mean, of course, I'd want the label to be like on it. Let's see. System. I could make it a child of the interaction component, because I mean that makes sense. Actually, that makes sense. Instead of having to do get parent, all types of stuff, just literally just get child, refine child, label 3D. That's it. And then that way, I just come here, interaction component, slap that on it. Where did it just go? I have lost the interaction component. Oh, I attached the script. Oh, I see what I gotta do. I gotta come here. I gotta create a new scene. Create a new scene. It's the world that I can just come here and drop this on it. Yo, I don't know what's going on with my mouse. I might need to reset my computer. All right, let's come here. Let's give it a label 3D. Let's hide it. Let's see if it works. Oh, I gotta give it some text here. Interact. Change its position as well. Where's it at? It's probably like in the middle of the world. Yeah, let's go like this. That zone is not there. It's okay. Let's figure out why. There's no font, maybe. May keep it default, that's fine. I gotta get some water, y'all. My throat is getting parched. Pause. Oh, because it's hidden. That's why. All right, let's try it out. It's not working yet. I mean, it should be null. It should be null. So if it's not null, so we're going to do... we should be able to pick the type. So export the type. In the beginning, export the type. Yeah, it's going to be upside. I don't even need to do this, all this, but I'll do it. It's not object, no. Let's see if this works. It's a label 3D. Find child. Let's see. Nothing. It's not hitting it. Doesn't hit that either. Restart. It does hit it. It hit it. It hit it, I think. No, it didn't. Oh, I can just do... Sorry, let's do this. There it is. I should do it now. There it is. There it is. Now it's working. There it is, y'all. Let's just fix the way it looks right now. Make the size about, I don't know, 54. Line about 8 or something. Let's make it point towards us. Geometry. No. Flags, billboard, enabled. I could do Y. I could do Y enabled billboard. Yes, there it is, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful. All right. Have it on false immediately. Func interact. Void. Not even interact. We got to get it like a pre-interact here. We got to get a pre-interact so we can just see it. Func. Let's just call it show label, right? It's gonna be a signal or something. We're gonna connect a signal or something where it just yeah, we can do a void, and we're gonna do label or interaction label. Well, we did an R of R here. What should we do here? Maybe there's a better way I can do this. I always do this. Type label 3D, but just make it null off rip, and then I can do this. I can do this. And then, yeah. So how do I get this to go? This is what I'm thinking. Excuse me. We're gonna give this interaction component. I want to have every interaction component have. I don't know if this is crazy, but let's see if this works. This is gonna be interaction area. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna give it an interaction area. It doesn't matter what it looks like. I'll give it a box or something. Just to, and I'll come back to the world. So even though it has that interaction area and stuff, I can't see it just because it's a scene. So let's make it local. Let's keep this. Then let's make a signal. Real quick, let's do this inspector, box shape. Where's it at? It's probably over here, yeah. Which doesn't make much sense, honestly. Well, that's because it also isn't in 3D space. That's kind of like the reason why that's like that. That's okay. If I were to make this a no 3D, it'd probably work a little better. What we think? All right, let's change it. Let's just copy this. Thing is all the way over there. What the heck are you doing over there, dude? Bring you down. What is happening there? My computer is lagging. I don't know what's going on. Stream probably. I just gotta. It's odd because it normally doesn't lag this bad, even if. That's a huge interact slime, but it works. So now it's where it's supposed to be. So now come there. Interact area like. There you go. And now just remove this so you can't interact it through walls. So oh yeah, there we go. Just the interaction area, make this axis unique. Come here, give me an body entered signal, put it on the interaction system with the interaction, excuse me. Put it on the, where the heck is it at? Where the heck is the interaction components thing? Bro, what the freak did I do? Oh, I forgot to give it the script. Y'all, this is very strange. How do I make this more componentized? Let's not make this local. I gotta. Also give them all a label 3D. That would, I think, save a lot of heartache here. Just do like so, yeah. I just need to copy the shape and stuff. I just need to copy this. Paste it here. I guess that worked. I just gotta now copy the size, the position. There it is. That's how I want it. Got the 3. Yep, that's working good. Now I can just come here. It's just gonna, yes, okay, thank you. This, I edit that and it changes and it works the way I need it to. So I come up to the interaction area. I can come here. Let's do it on ready here. Interaction area. It's fine. I don't think I even need this, I'll be honest. Actually, I probably don't. I'll keep it for now. I don't think I'll need it. Body entered. All right, so if body is player, then print body entered. Very simple. Body entered. Okay. I don't know. I got an error for somebody. Somebody gave me an error. Oh, I don't think I make this bed. It's all right. Okay. So then I'll do show label. Let's try that out. So let's hide it first. Keep it live, but didn't hide it. There it is. And then if I exit, come here, just do interaction area, come on, exit it. Then honestly, you can just do interaction label dot hide. I don't even got it. They have a whole function for that for me. It did it for me, so I can just do the same thing. Dot show. I don't even need this function. Make it simpler. There it is. So it's hidden. Mink. There it is, y'all. We got some progress. All right, I'm gonna take a break. Great progress. We'll take a break. I don't think so I added the bed to the level. I created interaction component. Gave that to the bed. Give that to the bed. I haven't done this yet. Yeah, I think we're gonna go here next. Also, if you actually do something, so this is about the players actually interacting. So if the player presses E, something happens. You know what I'm saying? So let's do that next. All right, y'all. Thanks for sticking with me. Oh, I love this one. It's a good song. Download this one. I will be back in about 10 minutes. If the screen's gonna say 5, it's really 10. Be right back, y'all. Set my turn on. So I've been working on a first-person survival horror game for the last 6 months, and I documented everything that I've done. My name is Theodore, this is Born Again Games, and this is everything that has happened from the very first day I opened Godot back in October of 2025 until now, I guess March 2026. So let's get into it. So the very first thing I built was a player controller and a sanity controller. Both of those came from following a tutorial series by Crooked Smile Studios, which is a fantastic series, and it gave me a really solid foundation to start building on top of. The Sanity controller added visual distortion as the player's sanity drained, which felt right for the kind of game I was trying to make. I then started working on what would eventually become the prayer system, although at the time I was calling it the shout controller. See, I had the idea that the player would shout at the demon-possessed person chasing after you. The player would, in a split-second decision, type, "I rebuke you," or "flee from me," and this would consider the possessed person rebuked. How I got to that point was what I was trying to figure out. Mind you, at the time, I had really no idea how to make a game. I had only about a year, maybe a little bit less, of experience in Godot. To get started, I was just following God's guidance step by step. The idea at this point was open dialogue. The player could type out a real sentence and the game would respond to it. And I was thinking about doing a good prayer, a bad prayer, and neutral prayer system based on what the player actually typed. But I had to scrap that pretty quickly because the reality was that players would just spend all their time typing curse words at God to see what would happen instead of actually playing the game. And that's just human nature. So that went out the window pretty fast. But knowing what I didn't want was still progress. And everything else in this phase was really just about laying this groundwork. Doors, chests, items, and a basic sandbox environment to mess around with. I was just building the foundation and hoping it would hold up over time. In November started Sprint 1. This is where things started to actually feel like a real game was being made, because this is when I added the maze sandbox and dropped in an enemy for the first time. The AI, though simple, came from an old course I followed that I modified to fit what I needed for this game. It really didn't do much but idle, walk, and when the player got close enough, started to chase. It had 0 intelligence. The first test I ran, the AI could detect the player through the walls, which was very much not intentional. In the second test, the player's sanity was being drained through the walls, which is also not intentional. In the third test, the enemy would endlessly get stuck on walls, and you get the point. Nothing was going to plan. First, to fix the AI seeing me through the walls, I realized the issue was actually pretty similar to the reason the player's sanity controller was draining sanity. The collision of the walls were not being accounted for by either the enemy's AI or the player's sanity controller, so what was a simple solution? If you answered raycast, you would be correct. I added a raycast and a check to the enemy AI that would return a boolean of whether the enemy was in sight of the player, taking collision into account. Oh no, it sees me. 2 birds killed with 1 raycast. The last test, until I could begin actually testing the enemy in the maze, was to fix the player's AI getting stuck on the walls. Why was this happening? When I was working on this project, I was actually also working as a developer with CGDC gaming community, specifically CGDC Community Level 5. This is a game developed yearly by a community of Christian game developers. And guess what I was working on that exact same time? The sheep's AI in the game. Some may call it coincidence, I call it God. While working on this project, I learned about Godot's agent navigation system way more in depth than I would have ever done it by myself. Reason being, I was able to work alongside some people who were also doing it with me. We problem solved together until the agents were moving properly along the 3D environment we were developing. Taking my experience from that project, I now knew that my issue was my agent's radius. Godot was thinking my agent was smaller than it actually was, so it was pathing for a smaller object than the enemy actually is, leading to the enemy frequently getting caught on the walls and it not taking the walls into account properly. So I had to tweak the agent navigation system for some hours, but eventually I got a result that felt decent to test this maze out with. The player needed some work too. At this point, it could walk, jump, look around, and sprint. This sprint, I added the ability to slide. Gave the player stamina. To make the movement feel better, I applied acceleration to the player's movement, so now the player wouldn't instantly move in any direction. This was actually an enormous change. If you want to go deeper into how significant acceleration can be on a player's movement and how the player feels control, check out this video by Game Maker's Toolkit. This made the player feel less like what he was, a sandbox test dummy, and more like a horror game character with weight on his body. Another key change to add to the feel, the camera tilts on hard landings past a certain speed, giving impact to the landings, and a slight tilt when jumping. Following Crooked Smile Studios' FPS controller series, link in the description, I was able to add head bobbing, but I tweaked it so that the head bobbing gets heavier near the end of the player's stamina, simulating fatigue. All small changes, but together they really start to make the player feel like an actual person, rather than just a floating camera moving through space, which it kinda is. One thing I almost forgot to say is that the player went from this height to this height. This is because the player in the game is a teenager, so I wanted the height to reflect that. The prayer system got its first real iteration in Sprint 2. At this point, the player could type rebuke while looking at the enemy, and the enemy would just get deleted from the world. Which worked, but it was basically just a delete button with extra steps, and I knew it needed to be a lot more than that if I was going to call it a prayer system. I built out a word detection system where if the player used names for God like Jesus, Father, or God in their prayer, the system would register that the player was talking to God. If they said love, if they said hate, the word detection system would pick that up and increase or decrease sanity. And at the time I thought this was a decent direction, but I ended up pulling back from it because it started to feel more like a buff simulator than a survival horror game. And prayer wasn't supposed to just make everything easy, so I left it there and decided to come back to it when I had a better answer. One more thing from the sprint that I really wanted to talk about were the prayer animations. Because I designed 3 different hand postures based on where the player was in the world. In a safe area, think Resident Evil, the player would have open palms, kind of like a posture of receiving. And in neutral areas, just relaxed hands. And then in danger, the hands would be clasped tight and shaking, almost like you begging for an answer. That last one specifically meant something to me when I designed it, because that image of being at your absolutely most desperate and just calling out, man, that's real, bruh. I remember those seasons of real hardship when I had a very similar posture and I just wanted to know that he was listening and that he heard me. So I just knew ultimately that this had to be in the game. Also, quick word of advice for anybody just starting out with game dev. Make plenty of scenes to test your game out with. It's fine to have a litany of sandboxes for each feature of your game. And I personally find making sandboxes one of the most fun parts of game development. Man, it reminds me of how much I used to love starting up builds in Little Big Planet to test out all the features in the game. But sorry, I got nostalgic. Sprint 2 started in January 7th, around January 7th at least. And Sprint 2 is when the game started to have actual systems that a real game might have. The biggest thing that came out of this sprint was the side menu, a full inventory, and a prayer tab that the player can pull up at any time with an item grid, a tool grid, and a page grid. And in each of those grids, you can drag and drop items, swap them around, drop them into the world, and click on anything to get more information about it and see what you can do with it. The inventory system itself, how I learned to drag and drop and so forth, was set up with the help of the Crooked Smile Studios inventory system tutorials, linked below and in the top right now. Of course, I had to modify that system so that items couldn't go in the page slot, pages couldn't go in the tool slot, and so on. I also added sound effects to Sprint, footsteps, item pickups, collisions, and it's one of those things where you don't really realize how much it matters until you add it. And suddenly the game just felt so much more alive in a way it didn't before, which was a really good feeling after a lot of weeks of things kind of feeling hollow. Thank you again to Crooked Smile Studios for this. After adding the consumable item that gives back resolve, I basically stopped using tutorials altogether because my use cases were starting to get a bit too specific for this type of game. I also now had a lot more confidence in myself to make pretty much any feature I wanted to. One reason is because of Shepherd's Watch, the game that I helped develop with CGDC. The link to that is actually down in the description if you want to check it out. It's not anything crazy, but it's a prototype of the first game I've ever been credited in. The interaction system got a really significant pass this sprint as well. All collected objects now animate into the player's hand when you pick them up. Consumables show a visible consumption timer after pressing the consumption button. Oh, you also now know what the consumption button is, and the put away key, and the drop key. This is the interaction UI. All UI and user-facing stuff is subject to change, by the way, just letting you know. While writing this, I also had the thought to show the player how long it'll take to use the consumable before they use it. Maybe I'll put it something like this. Next was getting tools to interact with specific objects. Pretty clear cut. Red keys interact with red doors. Black keys interact with black doors. There's no regular door key. Currently, the player doesn't have a way to know that they're at the wrong door, but earlier you might remember I mentioned a subtitle system. That subtitle system would tell the player, this is the wrong door, or this is the wrong tool, or so on and so forth. An example of how this would look right now is on your screen. I added throwable items. One knocks back the enemy, and one slows down the enemy's speed drastically. I also added another variation to the consumable items. The player can now consume an item and regain an amount of stamina. This made me begin to realize the power of this consumption mechanic. I had envisioned an item consumption mechanic similar to Zelda Breath of the Wild, but now that it was in the game, it got me pretty excited. I also renamed Sanity to Resolve this sprint because it just felt more true to what this game is. The player having resolve to continue facing the trials ahead of them. I think I wanted to touch on here, for every single feature you see in this game, there were probably 1 to 5 bug fixes that had to happen alongside it. And I even have a name for those bugs that I haven't found yet. I call them sleepers. And I'm almost certain that there are a lot of them just waiting for the right moment to jump out and cause problems. Sprint 3! Starting February 26, Sprint 3 began. The plan going into this sprint was save system, main menu, enemy AI, prayer system, expansion, and basic dialogue system. So 5 things over 3 weeks. Looking back, this was very ambitious, but I didn't know it yet. One of those 5 things decided it was going to be the only thing to get done, and that was the save system. So on day 1 of this sprint, I figured out pretty quickly that saving nodes directly to Godot resources was not going to work the way I needed it to. And I found a pretty clean workaround, and I thought, okay, we're off to a good start. The save system is going to be fine. And 3.5 weeks later, I was still working on the save system. My first real approach was packing entire scenes to disk and reloading them later. This worked in early testing, but it fell apart pretty quickly once I started stress testing it. Packed scenes are slow. They're hard to debug because when something doesn't load correctly and you want to debug it, you're looking at a big blob of binary. I can't read binary. I don't know O's and 1s. So I was trying to figure out what was wrong and I couldn't. And they're also just not built for the kind of efficiency I wanted for this game. I wanted it to be able to run on modest hardware, and my laptop's integrated GPU couldn't handle the girth of loading packed scenes with hundreds or maybe thousands of nodes. So I tore that down and I rebuilt the whole thing as a dictionary-based system, where each object in the game world is responsible for serializing its own data, position, type, state, inventory, contents, which is like for the player, into a dictionary that gets written out to a JSON file, and on load, each object reads that data back and reconstructs itself, and the JSON file becomes the source of truth for everything. This was the right approach, and I should have started there, but it was hard. It sounded like too much to my brain, and I decided packed scenes is the way I want to go for. So that's why I spent 3.5 weeks working on the same thing. If you can take the hard road that leads to better code later, take the hard road now. So going down this hard road required untangling a lot of bugs. Dropped items were disappearing on reload because Godot wasn't assigning the unique readable names to the items when they enter the world from the player's inventory. And there was a race condition where loading from the main menu was running before the scene had finished initializing. So objects were spawning inconsistently depending on timing. Oh yeah, I now had a main menu. To test the save system before, I just used the C key, but if I wanted to load in, I need somewhere to load it in from. So I thought, let's make a main menu. So from the main menu title screen, you can click new game. You then get a save slot selection. After you click the slot, you can name your level and save the level name. And then the level select screen actually renders a live screenshot of each of the scenes that are available. Now this is only a testing thing, but I thought it was pretty cool. Shout out to Cursor for helping me make that, by the way. Cursor's a great tool for quick prototyping. So I now have the main menu with new game, load, options, exit. Now I thought, let's go ahead and get a pause screen going. Our prototype pause menu has a resume button, quit to menu button, quit to desktop button. But going forward, I might just make it say quit, and the confirmation screen is quit to main menu, quit to desktop, and above that shows the last save time. Reconfigure pause menu. But yeah, when you press quit, it tells you when the last time you saved was, so that way you're not guessing, when was my last save? Just a quality of life. By the end of the sprint, the save system saves whenever the player prays. It auto saves whenever the player is transitioning between scenes, and it has 3 different save slots, which carries its own unique world state for each one. So sandbox level looks different on save 1 than on save 2, and save 2 than on save 3, so on and so forth. And loading back into all these saves are currently seamless. And I'm genuinely proud about how it came out, even though it took way longer than expected. On day 13, there were no commits. I got no work done, nothing, because that day I got engaged. So everything else waited. Lastly, before I forget, I added interaction UI to pages, added stamina drain to jumping, and made it so stamina drains but slower when sliding. Before, if jumping or sliding, the player could realistically be at sprint speed always and pretty much forever. And to balance this out, this is what I added. But I did end up running into a bug. Now the majority of the major features are out of the way, I think it's very important to discuss why this game is being made to begin with. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and that is the only reason born-again games exist. This game is something I feel called by God to make, and I want to be real about that because it shapes everything from how I work, what I'm building, and why I get up and do this every single day. The prayer system being the core mechanic of this game isn't a gimmick or a marketing angle. It's because prayer is the most real and important thing in my life, seriously. And I wanted to make a game that's fun, that actually takes prayer seriously. My hopes are that someone may learn to pray for the first time, learn how to commune with God for the first time. It might even bring somebody's prayer life up and learn how to do it better or whatever, or just learn different ways to do it. There's a lot I still don't have figured out. The prayer system in full, a Steam page, or even a release date that I'm confident in to say out loud. But what I do know is that I'm building this alongside God, and that's been the constant throughout all of it. There were days of sprint where I felt impressed that I needed to keep going, even when it was hard, or slow down and look at the work I'm doing properly. Maybe take more time on this than other things. Computer's acting. Every time I tried to listen as best I could to produce the best work I could possible. And I'm just being candid because it's real and it's a part of. We're back. My computer's acting really strange. I think I'm gonna restart my computer, yo. I think I'm gonna restart my computer and see if it acts better, because it's acting very, very choppy and not good. So I'll be back. Be right back, y'all.